the UEFA Champions League. They bought the rights to that. And this was a company that had such high level other sports as office boxing, which was literally people that had paid like $2,000 to box someone else who worked in an office, and they would do like some training program and then just box. And then that would be on this streaming service. And then they had rugby league from Lebanon. It was like the Lebanon Rugby League, which they don't even play it. And essentially there would be 2 people in the audience. So they bid 3 times the price of like the next company that did it. And then, all they had was that. So you're going to have to subscribe just for that. And no surprise, it ended up not working. And then someone else had to take over the whole thing. And
I'm a little surprised that the company with the streaming success of the Lebanese Rugby League didn't know how to stream the Champions League to a much wider audience. That's crazy, because I'm pretty sure that's very popular, the Lebanese Rugby League streaming service.
I mean, in the Lebanese community in Sydney, they play rugby league. But that's like only because they live in Sydney and it's big in that area. It's that's not like it's big back home. It's like it seems it seems
like a misstep there on that side. But geez, I mean, what a way to be like, you know what? We're going to go large this year. We're going to go for the Champions League. Have we any experience in that? Nah, it's probably the same as Lebanese rugby. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and they had some blind bidding process. So the whoever or whatever makes the decision on how this gets done basically just saw whatever was submitted and saw that this company had bid 3 times the price of anything else. And it was something absurd, like $20 million a year. Which again, so all of this is on at night outside of regular hours in Australia. So even if you're really into it, you still then have to stay up to watch it. So even casual fans are going to watch potentially big games, but they're not going to watch most of it unless you're really keen. And then even then, like, who's going to stay up 4 a.m. on a work night unless you're really, really into it? But like again, they somehow bid astronomically for it, and
unless you have huge bets, not staying up till 4 a.m. You know, because then like you say, like on a work day, there's no way, because you just have to watch the game and go to work.
Yeah, and then on top of all of that, you've got to then buy a new service that has
nothing
Lebanese
else.
Rugby League, random people boxing in an office. And when I say like, I mean literally not professional boxing. I mean literally people that signed up for like a 4-week boxing training camp that includes a fight, which the only people attending would be their like work colleagues, which is cool for them. But like, who else is going to be watching?
It is it's a little bit bizarre, all right, but I can imagine like the streaming service, like, well, what new sport are we going to get in? Hey, we've got boxing, we've got rugby, we need soccer. It's great. Let's go with like the biggest competition we can.
Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, it's not like, you know, FIFA or those kinds of leagues are known to like take dodgy deals or anything, but somehow.
I mean, look, if they bid 3 times as much as the other, they probably were like, well, that bid's huge, this company must know what the fuck they're doing. But no. Just no.
So sorry, I completely missaid that. It wasn't Lebanese Rugby League because, again, at least Lebanese people in Sydney do play that. It was Serbian Rugby League.
Oh, even better.
They had other esteemed professional sports such as Indian baseball.
Wow. See, you underestimated this company. Indian baseball, that's everyone wants to watch that. Serbian rugby league. Well done. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's about as big as it gets. They had the UAE Pro League.
Champions League. Definitely. It's like Champions League and then Serbian rugby league. It's the biggest sports in Europe.
And then they were going to sell subscriptions for $15 a month or $100 a year. And they had bid, so $100 a year, but they bid $80.4 million for the rights.
Wow.
So at $100 a year, they would have, yeah.
So they're basically hoping everybody in Australia signs up for the Champions League subscription to make their money. Wow, that's crazy. There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, sadly you can't just bid on the rights and win it and then set up a whole company based on that.
I mean, maybe that's the next thing we should do is just start bidding for elite sports events. It's like, how are you going to broadcast it? On my YouTube channel. I'm going to get that money.
We're going to sell subscriptions to our YouTube channel for $100 a year.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a foolproof plan to get the Champions League rights.
I wonder what the legalities would be if you set up a company, right? So the whole idea of a company is that there's limited liability, so therefore the people can't get in trouble so much if the company cannot do what it's claimed to do. So you set up a company, bid on the rights. We'll bid $100 million.
Sure, yeah, seems good.
For our YouTube channel, we'll bid on the rights. The exclusive broadcast rights for Albania or some random country that
sounds good.
Equatorial Guinea. Imagine going around telling people, "Look, I own the rights to the Champions League on TV." They're like, "Oh, where?" It's in Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to watch it in Equatorial Guinea owes me money. So yeah. Cool am I.
I stream it on my YouTube channel in Equatorial Guinea. And I mean, there's got to be countries where it actually mathematically, like, there can't be that many people in Equatorial Guinea bidding on the UEFA Champions League rights, right? So if you actually had a YouTube channel, charge for ads, and then broadcast.
I mean, yeah, there's got to be a way you can do it, because there's got to be some territory where it's like it costs you like $5,000 to get the rights.
Just so you can brag to everyone and be like, yeah, Ronaldo works for me.
Yeah. You also get exclusive access to all the games. You get to interview all the players and stuff, and it'd be fun.
Well,
event.
Even better than that, you can just throw in subliminal stuff in the middle. Like partway through a game, you just whisper in the microphone, "Subscribe to my channel." Like you do nothing else, just randomly in there, just like, "Subscribe to my channel."
It's true. It's like, if you want to watch the second half, you have to be subscribed. Otherwise, I'm cutting it off.
Or you just throw in randomly, like you throw in yourself talking about the game, so that whenever you go to this random territory, like say again, Equatorial Guinea, Just completely random country. I have no idea how expensive or whatever things are in Equatorial Guinea, if there is even TV rights for it there, whatever. But still, you just throw it and like you just you pay someone to say. And now we're throwing over to the expert commentator Dave, who played 100 games for Liverpool back in the day, and then you're like, yeah, I think the game's going great. I think the second half's going to be good. Can't wait to see what happens. Just have you in there. And then just have that randomly in every game. And then all of a sudden in Equatorial Guinea, they think you played 100 games in the Premier League.
Build my celebrity. Just
yeah.
Excellent stuff. All right, yeah. No. I've always thought that when they're doing like the analysis of the game, there should just be like 4 dudes sitting around with some beers and like chips. So like that's what we could do, and then just be like, yeah, well, we know more about football than like whoever's on BBC or whatever. You know, Alan Shearer and all those guys. We know the stuff. It's grand.
Well, all you need to do is edit like Alan Shearer, take him out of context talking about something else, and be like, look, we're crossing over to the greatest goal scorer I've ever seen. And then it's like, Dave, like completely clearly from different sentences. But and then you come in and like, thanks, Alan. Yeah, it's a great game. You're too kind. I wasn't that great. I mean, you know, I did kick a few more than you, but yeah, whatever.
That is exactly what we need to do, is just set it up so we can then just edit each week, just edit like some of these pundits in and be like, so what do you think, Roy Keane? And then just go on a big rant. Fantastic. There's nothing to do with the game, just very entertaining.
Yeah, you get them from like an entirely different interview and have them talking about something completely different. Well, you know, climate change is affecting the world. And then go back to you and be like, why would you say that? And then just be like, okay, look, we got the game coming up. Let's go.
Yeah. But what do you think's going to happen in the second half? Brilliant stuff. Brilliant idea. And then just for fun, I think every segment should be sponsored by a different OnlyFans account. Here's Roy Keane, brought to you by Sarah's OnlyFans.
And then again, ideally, if you can find like a clip of him referring to Sarah, and then it's just like, I love it, Sarah.
This is how we're going to build our broadcasting empire, I think. This is the start of it.
Yeah.
Q looking up where are the cheapest rights to the champions.
Literally, cheapest countries to buy sports rights.
Excellent.
So it says the first one that comes up is England, and that is 1.6. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, is that $trillion? So I guess we can't quite afford that.
We could do like a GoFundMe, try and raise it.
Yeah, a lot of these are quite high. I mean, Area B is only 46 million euros a year.
That's that's quite high. That's quite.
Even the Canadian Premier League is 12 million pounds.
Yeah.
What do we buy the Canadian Premier League in Equatorial Guinea? Surely no one has.
I didn't even know it was a thing, so I think, yeah.
Well, the Czech Republic First League is only 5 million pounds in Czech Republic itself. So surely the rights to the Czech Republic, but the Czech First League in Equatorial Guinea can't be that much.
I mean, probably get $50 or $60 for it, maybe. Yeah, we'll give them like 20 grand and start being TV broadcasters for soccer. Sounds good.
Exclusive Czech First League broadcasters of Equatorial Guinea.
with the goal of broadcasting the next World Cup on the channel.
This country for TV rights. Well, yeah, it says cheapest country for F1. Cheapest country to buy a TV.
That works.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we probably should start with cheapest country in the world and see what the rights are for that.
Sounds good.
I reckon. I mean, Syria. Surely we can afford Syria. The Syrian rights for.
I don't know. It depends. Depends what's going on at the moment in Syria. Yeah, I'm guessing. I think we should be able to. I think we should be able to like get something under 1 million, and it should be. We can start our streaming empire.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's what we do. We become the exclusive rights holders of, and then I'm sure there's gotta be other perks to it, right? Like if you're the TV rights person, surely you can get into games, or you can.
Yeah. You get to send your own commentators, so they can interview players and stuff. So you could just do fucked up commentary and ask them like random questions that are not about the game.
I feel like this is the hack to get cheap tickets to a team, like to get cheap seasons tickets, right? So even your local team, you just buy the rights to the streaming.
Yeah.
And then you buy the rights to the streaming in the cheapest country in the world. And then you therefore send a correspondent, or have a foreign correspondent who happens to be you standing on the side of the pitch with a GoPro and
which is literally like you can't buy a season ticket with that kind of access to any sports club. So I think, it's a bargain really, because you're going to get all the additional access with your filming on your iPhone 7 at the side.
In Equatorial Guinea, we just got the iPhone 7. This is our latest technology.
720p, baby.
Yeah, we don't have the SD cards that can film in HD, let alone 4K. So, yeah.
That is exact. I was watching the Tyson Fury boxing match last night, and there was a dude at ringside filming with an iPhone. I was like, he's scammed somebody to get in there. He's not officially press, but
well, I think that like you can't bring in a proper camera, but you can bring in an iPhone. So that's where
he was in with all the press guys. Filming, like clearly filming whatever. It's like, dude.
Some of the reporters reuse their phones because they then transcribe it from that. But
well, he looked out of place. It was funny, but also looked out of place was Tyson Fury's opponent was sponsored by OnlyFans. People were making jokes. It's ironic he's getting fucked up. Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
What if we buy the NFL rights in Cuba?
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. It's the same kind of experience, I think.
You just buy rights that in countries that hate each other where no one would watch, and then.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't actually. There's no legal requirements, I believe, to actually show each game. So you could just go to the game, record some shit. Like, when's this going out? Yeah, that's a great question.
I mean, yeah, field side to get tickets on the field in the NFL for an entire home season is worth more than say 10 grand. So if you bid 10 grand for the NFL rights in Equatorial Guinea, then all of a sudden, I feel like this is a money making, and also like you get the Super Bowl, you get field side tickets on the Super Bowl. That alone is going to cover the cost. So
Yeah, 100%. This is, I think we've had a breakthrough right here. This is a great, this is one of our best.
Actually, you could actually bid like 100 grand, right? And then you sell the TV correspondent exclusive access. So you sell people tickets for 10 grand a game and they get on the field. Like you get exclusive access on the NFL field and you get to try to interview NFL players. And if you go along with it, there is a chance they actually will and actually talk to you and then take photos and or video with you. I mean, you could easily get 10 grand a game.
Easily, no problem. Plus, if you were like, we need 16 correspondents at each game, you could make a lot more. So, yeah.
I feel like, we got to figure out, one, how you bid on sports rights, but two, and then what we need to do is we set up a company in the Bahamas or some tax haven, register it under a dog so no one knows who the true owners are. And then we just imply that it's owned by like Saudi royal family or some Middle Eastern royal family so that they think it's some legit whatever. But ultimately on paper, it's owned by a dog or whatever you can do in some of these tax havens. And then it's us.
Yeah, especially I think it would really work, particularly if it's a sport we have no fucking clue about whatsoever. So like, how do you think the first half went? It's like, I don't think it's a half. I think it's a quarter.
I'm a big fan of the second half in hockey. So I always say the second half is where a game changes.
The fight starts. Ref, that's a foul. You can't punch a guy. That's a red card. Get off.
Where's the throw the yellow flag, sir?
Yeah, I think we've come up with a great idea here, and it shall be explored for sure.
Yeah, I think we've got to figure out. Even like tennis, like you know what'd be hilarious is like these other major like broadcast networks have these 100,000 plus cameras and have like 20 of them, and then here we are with two random dudes with an iPhone 7 and a GoPro 6.
GoPro 6, high level.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then just like talk shop with the other camera operators and ask like, oh, do you guys film in 1080 yet?
I see you're not using a GoPro. What's up with that? Seems a bit over the top, but all right.
Do you use the onboard GoPro microphone or?
Because it says it's professional level, so I think it's fine.
Yeah. This is the GoPro. It's Pro. It's in the name. It's Go Pro.
Professional. Yeah, exactly. It's 100%.
I have the iPhone 10 Pro, or whatever year they brought in the Pro.
Yeah, exactly. Also, during the game, so we got the pitch side access. During the game, when there's like some action going, just launch a drone. They have to stop everything. Like, we needed that aerial shot. What are you guys doing?
And they're like a good drone, like a $20 toy piece of crap.
It's okay. They're all wearing helmets. It's fine. Yeah, good stuff.
I mean, it's got to be possible.
I think so. It has to be. We might need funding from somebody, but it's all good.
We should, raise money to stream sports in Syria.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good.
I want to launch the sky of Syria.
I mean, have you ever wanted to advertise on a huge sporting event? Because we will let you do that. You just got to help us fund our purchase of the rights first.
Yeah.
It's like we need a few million.
I want to launch the Fox of Syria. We're going to have 100 channels.
Nice.
All in English somehow. In Syrian. Not to mention there probably exists one anyway, but
I mean, possibly, yeah, But we'll be doing the new one, so it'll be fine.
Cable TV in Syria. Well, it seems like there's Syria cable TV.
Well,
so you learn something new every day. So we're going to have to outbid people.
Okay. All right. It just got serious.
Yeah. It's, they have basically just says Syria is not safe.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. I mean, I did meet a guy in the Philippines who had like the local cable TV network, and he was trying to charge to like put whatever you want on the air. But he was like $1,500 to put like a 30-minute episode of whatever you wanted on the I mean, obviously there would have been some level of you couldn't do whatever. You couldn't put OnlyFans on TV, but like obviously like
damn it. There goes my business proposal. But yeah, I mean we could put this show on TV for like an hour for 1,500. People business advice. Get them to call in. Be like, what kind of business do you want to do? And then we'll tell them how to do it successfully.
Yeah, I mean there is a channel called Aleppo Today. So we would probably have to compete with them and outbid them.
So yeah, it sounds like a bidding war will take place.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have said war. Damn it. Yeah, it's definitely going to
streaming rights, Syria. Well, NFL has a deal with IMG to sell international TV rights. But that's about it. So, yeah, I guess
I think we just emailed them an offer, be like, we got $5,000. Want to show the NFL.
But we'll need to film a documentary at the same time.
Yeah, we need access, all the access, please. And it's like we've got 16 people coming to every game. Crew.
And we have the latest technology, latest television technology of Syria and beyond.
We've invested heavily in 2 new iPhones and a GoPro. New to us, not new, just new to us.
Yeah, secondhand. We got a great deal on decommissioned iPhones from. It's like,
I think one of them might be a knockoff. We're not sure.
It's secondhand iPhones from a third world country. But they're top quality secondhand.
I think it'd just be great to have somebody who has absolutely no clue about whatever sport it is you're streaming, just be the expert pundit on the day. Be like, I know about sport. Do you know about this sport? Well, let's just see what we can figure out.
Or to bring just like, complete randoms. Like you bring a homeless person. Hey, buddy, you're going to be the NFL correspondent today for Syria. We're going to need expert advice. Don't worry, we're going to pay you.
You just see some dude in an NFL shirt, be like, dude, come on, you're on the show. And he ends up knowing nothing about NFL because it's most likely. But yeah, just random people each week. People tune in to see who is the pundit this week.
I mean, that would actually be an excellent show to just take people from different countries and make them the correspondent.
I think so.
Actual correspondent of whatever. Because a big thing that they've been doing with different sports is having different commentary. So you can watch on one channel and watch one type of commentary. There was like some crazy guy in tennis who they let him commentate some games. So if you watched on a different channel, he would commentate. So it's like that, except it's just the complete random who you intentionally take who has no idea about the sport.
No clue, yeah. That's what you want. I think that's the real entertainment in this scenario. So,
I mean, there is at some point someone's gonna figure out how to just let anyone commentate sports, and I think like as Amazon gets rights, eventually they're gonna just be like, okay, we have Twitch as well, so we'll let anyone restream it and commentate over the top themselves. And then all of a sudden, like, it's obviously going to be the future. You have like wild people or anyone commentating, because with most sports, some of the biggest complaints is that people hate the commentators. Like, it's almost always that people are bitching and moaning about the commentators no matter what sport it is. So yeah, people pick their own commentators.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think that's a good idea. Because most of them are fucking terrible or biased or whatever. So yeah.
Pick a random homeless person in Syria to be the NFL commentator.
Why not? Why not? Giving people opportunities and spreading NFL around the world. So
going to change the world.
Absolutely. Each week the show just gets higher and higher on the level of output we have,
Yeah. Well, that would be some interesting news, but there's some very important news that was posted in the Daily Mail.
Oh, okay.
Now hold on to your seats because this is life-changing. Willow Smith puts on a leggy display on a grocery run in Calabasas while brother Jaden visits same store later with girlfriend Sab Zada.
Wow. Well, I don't know how I'm going to handle this information. So they both visited the same grocery store in the same day.
And one of them put on a leggy display. And I am not kidding that they have written 10 to 12, maybe 15 paragraphs about said visiting of a grocery store.
How do people make a living writing this sort of stuff?
There's even this great line that is its own paragraph on its own. Willow carried a single paper bag from the establishment as she spoke on her phone. End of sentence. End of paragraph.
Wow. Who would have thought that was possible? I don't know, man. Journalism is really different these days. Like, here's somebody's going grocery shopping. Wow.
I mean, essentially, it's somebody's kid going to grocery shopping too.
It's someone's kid. I was like,
I mean, you can say that they're famous, but realistically, they're only famous because of their parents, isn't it? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, who is just busting to know that the kids of celebrities went to a store, a grocery store?
I'll be honest with you. If the article was Will Smith went to the grocery store, I still wouldn't give a shit. He was talking on his phone, carrying a bag. Great. No one cares. So, yeah.
Well,
rich people got to buy groceries as well, I guess.
Well, I mean, that was life-changing, but this one is even more life-changing.
I don't know if I'm ready for more life-changing So soon.
Strap yourself in because there's another article from the Daily Mail. Tom Cruise exhibits his muscular arms in a gray polo shirt.
All right.
As his helicopter arrives in London after promoting Top Gun, Maverick in South Korea.
If you break this story down, it's Tom Cruise has arms.
He has muscular arms, and he wore a gray polo shirt, and he flew back to London.
That is, phenomenal. How does he manage to do such wonderful things?
Now, they have managed to write double the amount on this and go into godly detail. Wow. Waving towards onlookers, he completed his look with a pair of black shoes and stored his essentials in a matching backpack. A sentence that gets its own paragraph.
Wow, that is some style guru shit right there.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about style. It says, accessorizing with a silver wristwatch, the Hollywood star wore his brown locks in a shaggy hairdo and soon climbed into a luxury black car.
Amazing. I mean, is there people who read these things are like, wow, that was amazing. Now I know what Tom Cruise was wearing yesterday when he climbed into a car.
I've got to get to paragraph 10 to know more.
Do you, though?
Like, how was his walk? Did he perhaps drop the wristwatch?
Oh.
Spoiler alert, he didn't. That would have been too much to handle.
Yeah, poor old Tom probably just was going about his day. He probably didn't even put too much thought into what he was accessorizing with. Just be like, I'll wear this watch because it costs more than most people's houses. It's fine, you know. Tom Cruise.
I mean, it's probably some like ridiculous gold Rolex, silver, whatever. Rolex probably is too cheap. It's probably some other more expensive thing we've never heard of. But they just something that would actually be of interest.
It's probably one of those Casio watches with a calculator built into it. You know, one of those super cool ones.
I don't believe they were silver, so I don't think so.
Oh, special edition, man. There was a special edition silver one. You know, super limited. That's why Tom Cruise would have it. I would love it to be that. Like he just runs. People are like, oh my God, what kind of watch you wear? And he's like, this is Casio. It's got a calculator. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was life changing. Let's move on to something a bit more boring.
Okay.
A judge has been jailed for doing what for the third time in a year? What do you think? I mean, that's a bit boring.
Just in the middle of the case, listening to the judgment or the arguments, he was like, wait a minute. Yeah. Now it's getting better. Off you go. So I know, taking a bribe.
He asked the victim, can you whip out your tits so I can do a line of them?
I thought you were being serious there for a second. I was like, it's like, oh, wait, he did what?
I mean, kind of
judge right there.
this isn't that. I mean, obviously that's worse, but this is still pretty nuts. Judge jailed after being found driving naked around town for the third time in a year.
Is there actually a law against being naked in your own car?
Yes, there is.
It's my property, dude.
Which you would think that a judge would know.
You would think so, but you know.
And that they might have stopped after the second time of being caught. You know, let's just say anyone can be caught naked in their car once as a judge.
Or twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Twice you're like, oh, okay, look, you made a mistake. You're probably drunk. Let's let that pass. But the third time, in 12 months, then
Wait
you
till the
have to
fourth
go.
time happens. That's good.
The third time of being caught too, like
Yeah.
that means
Yeah.
that he likely was doing it. I don't think that you just did it 3 times if you're being caught 3 times in 12 months.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely didn't get caught every time.
Otherwise,
He
it's
probably
pretty
put himself
unlucky.
in a riskier position each time and was like, oh shit, they caught me this time. So
Now, it does also say he was spotted driving naked and then flashing a middle-aged woman on several occasions.
I mean, flashing his lights or flashing something else.
So this guy is 50 and he's been a top law official in Ohio since 1997. Between 2018 and 2021, he was spotted doing it 5 times, with 3 of those coming in the last 12 months. But his latest attempt involved him flashing a middle-aged woman. Having previously been found guilty of public indecency and reckless operation of a vehicle in 2020, he was put on a 2-year program to treat compulsive sexual behavior disorder that appears to not have worked.
Oh.
Maybe it did work, except for the one time where he decided to flash a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you got to be glass half empty with public
you do.
flashing.
That's true, especially when he's worked so hard for the last couple of years.
Yeah. Maybe he did get caught on the only time he's done it since he did that thing. And, let he who hath not slipped and flashed a middle-aged woman.
We've all done that, so it's all good.
According to local news, 3 months after his previous suspension, the Butler County Bar Association demanded an interim remedial suspension after he was again arrested for new driving and exposing himself on 2 more occasions. So it seems like they couldn't ban him to start with, and he had to do it multiple times before it was deemed that he posed a substantial threat of serious harm to the public.
I mean, he's just showing off. That's all.
He got 14 days in jail, though, which doesn't seem like a lot.
I mean, yeah, especially when he's probably not going to real jail. He's going to fancy lawyer person jail. So,
well, this is wild. He's been told that he can return to practicing law in the future, but has to prove that he is in full compliance with his mental health treatment plan and orders from the Butler County Area Court.
Nice.
So a guy who's been caught driving naked 3 times in 12 months as a judge and flashed a woman can eventually come back. Does seem like
I want to know, does that apply to all of us? Can we all be caught driving naked and flashing women and then become a judge afterwards?
Or can I work at McDonald's and, do it a few times and then spend 14 days in jail, but then I can come back.
Yeah. Make the milkshakes.
Yeah.
For a couple of weeks. I think that's reasonable. It's all good.
A court spokesperson said he cannot offer any assurance that he'll not engage in the same or similar conduct in the future. Upon his arrest, a local news channel tweeted a suspended attorney has once again been arrested for allegedly exposing himself. He showed his private parts to a 53-year-old woman on the thing. Yeah, so.
Clearly, she was not impressed. Man,
yeah, I mean, what if she was into it then?
Yeah, did she come up and
shot and it didn't really succeed?
She might have been joking around, being like, "Hey, what you got under that coat?" And he was like, "Well, all right, I'll show you." And then she was like, "Fuck." Or, maybe he just ran up to her, slapped her in the face with it, and was like, "There you go." So that's what might have happened. Anyway, it's funny.
Yeah, poor man.
He's all right. He's going to get his job back in 2 weeks, so it's all good.
How can you be a judge, right? Of especially of a guy who, let's say, gets caught twice flashing people. How, as a judge, can you be like, well, I think you need to be in jail?
I know. I think he'd be like, I feel your brother. I get where you're coming from. You're free to go.
Or he'd be like, look, I know you've done some things. Here's my dick. We've all flashed a room full of strangers. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all just part of the gig. So,
well, how many bees would you be okay to have living outside your house?
Bees?
Yeah.
Not many.
10, really 20, 30.
Just
100.
the odd one or two, maybe. Just, that's all. Yeah.
Well, a family is living with a 30,000 strong bee tornado outside their house.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. They should do something about that. Move the bees on. That's.
Well, there's an operation to move them. Mum has spoken of her and her daughter's horror after their home was plagued by thousands of bees. There's the terrifying 3 colonies that have invaded her home, with their council-owned flat completely taken over by the bees. Thousands of bees were spotted converging on the floor of the family bathroom, and a dark mass of thousands more seen climbing outside the window.
Jesus. Yeah, it's pretty grim.
But the authorities have offered very little help. Yeah, she lives in the property with her 9-year-old daughter, and the bees have been a growing problem. Yeah, they congregate on the floor overnight, but in the morning they disperse and they're all over the building.
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. Close a window, close all the windows for sure when you get them out of there. That's the first thing to do. I would be investing in a lot of bug spray as well and shit like that, and be like, yeah, not having this 30,000 fucking bees. No, thanks, you're good.
I think she should take the opportunity to make some honey. As they say, when life gives you lemons, when life gives you 30,000 bees.
Yeah, it's one way of approaching it for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I would feel like I would leave and just be like, someone else can look after that shit. That's just me,
Yeah, but she's in a council flat, so that's why she can't.
Oh, okay.
I got distracted partway through there because there was another article linked in it that kind of blew me away. So someone is running an influencer is running for election and is offering to get people to vote for her. Do you want to guess what it is?
I'm going to say she's offering nudes. Let's just put it that way. I don't know. Nah,
not even close.
Damn it. I was hoping to get some nudes. But anyway.
You might want this. You've always been complaining about this one, so I feel like you would prefer this one.
Okay. What we got?
Remember that Marcus had a website?
Yeah.
Marcus might want this product.
Okay.
All right. Well, Glam influencer standing for election offers free penis enlargements if she's voted in.
All right. Well, that's something that people will definitely take advantage of, I think. But yeah, good. I mean, some people just don't put the serious issues on their docket when they're running for election. It's all like, you know, cost of living crisis and housing crisis. Nobody ever talks about the need for penis enlargements. So there you go.
Look, I'm going to be a little bit controversial, and I'm going to say that the 2020 election was a scam because if we'd been able to have, if Donald Trump had been able to run on penis enlargements, he would have won.
I mean, there you go. He should know for
and
next
I've
time.
heard from people who wanted to have that as a policy, but was banned. And was kept under wraps by Twitter. And so, yes.
Twitter squashed that information. That's what he lost the election.
That was going to be an election day promise that would have swung the vote, but they banned him and the whole hell broke loose.
There you go. Now look where we are 2.5 years later. Man.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
I think that people should really consider what they've done to our society. Now, this one seems like a pretty boring story, but it is up there with that as a great headline. Topless breastfeeding mom in boxer shorts tackles bald eagle to save pet goose.
I mean, that in itself is a sensational headline.
Yes.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's got all.
There's nothing really to the story other. I mean, it's all in the headline. So
it's all in the headline. Yeah, that's all you need to know. It's an epic tale right there.
Now, what would be the ultimate add-on to any stag do or hen do that a company that runs those could offer?
Oh wow. So the ultimate add-on.
You know how like they have this saying of McDonald's where they're like, would you like fries with that?
So this is probably not right, but I think something like, do you want strippers to be there? Something like that. I don't know.
No, I think you can, like anything can add that in, but this company, Last Night of Freedom, it's called, has unveiled a unique insurance policy designed to give brides and grooms extra peace of mind when it comes to planning their final foray as a singleton.
Okay.
They're essentially, Last Night of Freedom is offering basically insurance that if the wedding gets canceled, you get your money back.
So if the wedding gets canceled because of whatever happens on the stag night or the hen do or whatever.
No, actually, they're saying that a lot of the. I was assuming that it was like from the title, it says stag and hen do's now offering insurance in case partner dumps you before big day. Now you would think that's before the wedding, but this is actually before the big day of the stag do or the hen's night.
Okay. All right.
So essentially, if the thing doesn't go forward, then they'll give you your money back.
All right. That's not too bad. That's pretty decent.
That's nowhere near as good as like if you got to have your bachelor party and then you got your money back.
Yeah, you got your money back because you, I don't know, got in trouble on the night, had a lot of extra fun that you weren't supposed to, and then it meant you also got your money back.
Or let's say that the company accidentally tweeted a photo of you with your ex-girlfriend
and her sister. I mean, that just happened once, but yeah, I mean, it's an interesting idea, all right, for sure. But they probably would have lost a lot of money, to be honest. So they couldn't do it. Yeah, I guess this way it makes more sense.
Yeah. This is another great headline. Cabbage throwing yob through vegetables at enemy swim window in strange late night rage.
I mean, you know, I was angry. and it was nighttime, so I didn't think they'd know who it was. But
It says that Ben Allen had a strange fit of rage where he decided to throw a cabbage at a flat window. How he got the vegetable and why it was there was not detailed in court.
I mean, it's not like how the hell did he get himself a cabbage? It's not like the biggest mystery of time. There was probably just a cabbage in the kitchen, or maybe he went and specifically bought it the day before. Like, I'm gonna fuck this through his window.
Well, he threw cabbages at a window, and he also threw a brick through a window and broke a van window.
Always helpful to open the window first before throwing the cabbages in. So that's the brick.
Now he decided to become abusive to a stranger whose flat he randomly knocked on.
All right. That's the best way. Randomly just pick on some dude and throw cabbage through his window.
He then decided to seek revenge on a driver who had been in an accident which involved his brother. And now this is probably one of the stupidest things you can do if you're going to assault someone or, seek revenge. He said, "My name's Ben Allen. I'm from the Hill and I don't mess about."
It's like, just in case you want to report me to the police, here's my name and address.
At 3 p.m. while the victim was at work.
Yeah, well done, Ben. Sounds like this dude had a few issues he was working through at the time. Trying to get through them all in the one day with the help of cabbages.
Yeah. Just weird. So yeah, that happened during the day at 3 p.m. Then he at just after 8 p.m. his victim states that a stone hit a window at the address he was at. He ran into the back lane and saw the defendant 100 yards away. And he checked CCTV and it showed the defendant throwing a brick. However, at just after midnight, the next night, he again heard a loud bang. A cabbage had been thrown. So he escalated from a brick to a cabbage.
It's a logical next step.
Sometimes you throw a brick and then you escalate things to a cabbage.
Yeah. He was really pissed off, so he threw a cabbage this time.
Yeah, I mean, what you gonna do? It's just sometimes.
What's the next one? What happens after the cabbage? Where do you go from there? That's the question.
Piece of paper.
Wow.
Better watch out.
It's gonna do some damage, right there.
Now finally, our favorite person, one of our favorite people of all time, King Charles. King Charles was asked by the Queen to call his son Prince Harry. And what do you think his response was?
He's not my son.
That would actually be more logical. He said instead that he was not a bank when he refused to call her.
He was not a bank?
Yeah.
All right.
The Queen was being bombarded with calls from Harry during her final few months. But when asked by his mother to call him, King Charles refused and told her that he should email him. He further elaborated, "Because I am not a bank." The source added, members of the family, including William, had stopped speaking to Harry when they learned of his book deal, fearing what they said could end up in print. Harry is not as well off as people are led to believe. He is wanting money. Rumors and insider commentary is set to ramp up over the next few days ahead of the release of their tell-all Netflix documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Ahead of its release, a body language expert said Prince Harry looks angry while Meghan Markle lacks confidence in the pair's Netflix trailer.
I mean, that sounds like a domestic violence situation, but hey, that's okay. He's angry. She's not confident. I don't think that's a good look. But hey, we'll find out. Not that the royal family would be up to some shady shit. They're all upstanding members of some community.
They're not a bank.
They could be if they really worked at it. They could.
I mean, yeah, wow. Imagine your mom tells you to call your son and your response is, I'm not a bank.
I mean, it's a reason he's not a bank. So
I mean, he does kind of have a point that whatever, but still, it's like, I don't know.
I mean, I just love the idea of like the only people he would call him is a bank.
The only time he would receive a call as king is if he were a bank. And he would answer as, I would love that if he was like, this was his thing where he like pranks everyone he knows and he answers as, hello, this is Barclays Bank, Charles speaking. And then you have to play along. He would be my hero if he did that. If he was like, the only way anyone can talk to me, regardless of their family or friends, is if they play along with the fact that I'm a bank. As a child, I dreamt of being a banker. And now I will live it out as king.
I was on the street and one of the subjects said that I was a banker. So that's what I'm going to do.
Imagine, someone yells out, you're a banker. And he's like, I am a banker. They're acknowledging me.
Yeah. Everyone knows his internal desire to be a banker. Good times. That would be funny. That would be funny. Imagine saying to the Queen, basically, fuck you, woman. I'm not a bank. I'm not calling him.
Oi, bitch. I'm not calling my son.
I don't need a kidney right now, so I'm not calling him. Fuck that shit. Call him. Or maybe he just calls him pretending to be the bank, being like, you've got no money. Bye.
I'd like to dispute a charge. Okay. He insists that his sons pretend that they're calling him for bank troubleshooting. And so the fact that Prince Harry is left and isn't doing that has upset him. But the second that Prince Harry plays along and calls and says, hello, Charles, I would like to dispute a bank charge, that just makes his whole day. Like, I missed you, my son.
Maybe he just misheard what she asked him. And he was like, he thought she said, will you recall the loans that are out there? And he's like, I'm not a bank. I don't need fucking loans. What are you talking about? I don't know. But, it just goes to show when you're not a bank, you shouldn't call people. So there you go.
You should email.
Yeah.
If we've learned anything from Prince Charles, and we've learned a lot.
We've learned a lot from Prince.
You don't call your parents. They're not banks. You email them. Exactly. It's parenting 101.
Yeah, exactly.
The next time your parents call you, you should answer and say, why are you calling me? I'm not a bank. Email me, and then hang up.
That sounds like a fun Sunday afternoon project.
December 25th, Christmas day, your parents give you a call to wish you a Merry Christmas, and you say, Dad, why are you calling me? I am not a bank. And if I was, I would not be open today. So you need to email me and act like a normal human being.
There we go. And that's how Christmas is done in the banking community. Indeed. Good times. You know, we always bring it back to the royal family. That's where we find the most important lessons in life.
It is.
You know,
I mean, they are the most important people.
Well, you know, no.
They're life leaders.
Yeah, no.
They are people that we should all be aspiring to be.
No. Anyways, we should probably leave it there. We got a lot of research to do on our streaming business, see which streaming leagues rights we can buy, and can get onto that business plan. So yeah, it's been a good one.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, you take care, and I will let you know what I find out from the NFL when I email them.
Yes. No.
All right.
Are they a bank? No. So you cannot call them. You'll have to email.
Got to email. No, got to email. If I get a response, will be a miracle. But hey.